What's up, guys? Welcome to How to Game on Linux. I'm going to make this as easy and as detailed as possible because I've seen some other videos on this and they didn't quite cover everything. And there's a lot to cover. They try to make it seem as easy as possible that you could just jump into Linux and get going. But that's not true. If you want the best compatibility, there is a few extra steps that you have to do. Now, there's 3 applications you could use to do things. This is Heroic Game Launcher. I have a video completely from start to finish on how to set this up, how to get a custom wine and Proton GE and more, and the stores that are involved. Stores that are involved are Epic, GOG, and of course the Prime Gaming Store, which is a thing, believe it or not. Now, I recommend this for GOG, Epic, and Prime Gaming. This has a different use. See, I recommend this one for EA and Ubisoft Connect and also Blizzard. So you can easily install everything you need for Blizzard here. You can get Diablo 4 running and it will just work. Do not use Steam with this at all. Steam has its own native client, which is right here. And if you go to settings and you head down to compatibility and you click this button, it will enable you to download any Steam game that you want. But there's a little more to it. You see, if you want the best compatibility for your games, you're going to need something called the GE Proton. And to get that, well, that's a whole nother story. So I guess we'll start there. Let's minimize all of this. This is an application, wherever it is. It's called Protonup-qt. What this allows you to do, it takes a minute to open. It's a weird, very, very strange application. What this allows you to do is install Proton GE by clicking Add Version. And as you can see, blammo, it's right there. Once that's installed, you'll need to restart Steam for it to show up. Then once you restart Steam, it's going to be first in your compatibility list and you can grab any game you want. Notable exceptions are EAC games. Some of them will work, some of them will not. This is more of a EAC issue than a Linux issue. Side note, after editing, that also includes BattlEye and anything really like it. It depends on if the developer allows you to use EAC, like Halo Infinite. Microsoft is a very, very good friend when it comes to those type of things. So things like the Master Chief Collection, Halo Infinite will work with EAC. BattlEye, I'm not sure if PUBG works yet or not. I don't know if ARC Online official services work or not. You could test those out and know, but just understand that BattlEye is also on those lists of some games will not work. See, Epic doesn't really understand Linux at all, and it's kind of disappointing. So they kind of limited us on what we can do because they're afraid that we're hackers elite, even though most people just want to play games and enjoy themselves. Yet they allow EAC on Windows, which has zero protection when it comes to EAC just as well. You can bypass it really easily. So, Linux and Windows are kind of same in the gaming space. They're both easy to do cheats for, but they put Linux down, which is really silly considering their games usually run better on Linux than they do on Windows. In my case in point, how optimized my Linux is. You can find a video for that for Fedora or Arch Linux in other videos on my channel. I might link them in the description below. So as an example, we're going to install Ubi Connect. We're going to click this button. It's going to tell us that the service requires a game launcher and the following steps will install it. So this is the latest one. They also have Rocksmith and stuff like that. And I'm going to click these two because I want to have it in my menus over here so that I can easily pin it down here if I need to. Another side note, during editing, I never showed you the apps pinned in the end. They don't really have any icons, unfortunately, which is a bug. Doesn't usually happen. But if you need to, I can actually fix those icons and put them down here. So if I wanted to, I could put Ubisoft right there. I'm going to unpin it until I fix it, but you can bring these down here and have them on your dock. Yay, Linux. So another side note, I know these are probably going to get annoying at this point. We can just go grab the EA icon And you get to choose any icon you want, but honestly, I think I'm just going to go with what we have here and drag it out like this, and it's transparent around the edges. We can save that to pictures, and we could type Ubi Connect icon, and ooh, look at that. That's ghetto. I like that. This is actually the Ubi Connect icon right here. So we're going to save image as. I'm going to grab that, and Blizzard icon. That's not it. This is it. And as you can see, it's not really doing its thing. That one's a little bit dated. That one's cool. And look, you can actually use this. Now you don't have to use official icons. Did that save as a JPEG? What the f? Alright, so I don't really actually know. It's called BattleNet. So let's type BattleNet. And is this the official icon? Do you save as a PNG? You do. Alright. Once we close those out, we can go to configure. And as you can see, the app for some reason is just not recognizing the icon. Is it this one? Oh. Alright, so it's gotta be, that's totally not it either. Pictures, it's this one, right? Yes. So we hit save. You go to configure. As you can see, it didn't have one at all there for EA. I don't know which one is EA. Is it this one? It was. We can hit save there. And for the Ubisoft one, it did have an icon, but I like that one better. And hopefully, yeah, look. Now I could do this, and we can pin them here because they don't look like crap. And that's it. Back to your scheduled programming. And we're going to just hit install. It's going to grab everything needed. And once it's done, everything is working. Now, the real question that most people are going to ask, how do I play Diablo? Well, that one is super simple, and I'm going to go over it after this is finished. Because, well, one step at a time, right? Now, it's going to run through everything it needs. It's going to grab everything it needs. Lutris is kind of an all-in-one thing. It's pretty cool. And it should be a fully functional launcher. All right? I have played the Division 2 through this, and it worked fine. The Division 1 works fine. I've had other EAC games work fine. My favorite to play on Linux is honestly, you know, Far Cry 5. It's one of the best Far Cry games, period. 3 was just sort of a do this, rinse and repeat. Do this again, rinse and repeat. Yeah. It's really annoying. Hated that game so much. I'm sure someone's going to complain about that in the comments, because what are we going to argue about today? Far Cry. Yeah, that's what it usually happens. Feel free. I don't mind. Just don't be rude about it. Alright, so as you can see, it's just doing everything for you. It's grabbing things with wine tricks, like fonts and stuff. And that's it. The installation is complete. So we're going to hit close, and we go to games, and there it is. So next is the EA app. But I said I would grab you, you know, what you need. So we're going to go to search Lutris and Blizzard. I believe we could just search Blizzard, and BattleNet will pop up. There it is. We hit install. Again, continue. And it's going to do its thing. Now, I have tried this fully, and the Blizzard BattleNet does work. I believe you can play World of Warcraft and other things in this. Not 100% sure, but you should also be able to play ADHD Simulator. I forget what the name of it is. Overwatch. I love that name for it, because it's just like all over the place. It's like zoom, 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 and it's not my thing. But once again, as you can see, it's installing fonts. It's grabbing everything for you. They use a weird font, and it's everything you can see. It's just doing up here, so you don't ever have to worry about grabbing a virus or anything. So this is the different setup from the Ubisoft one, because, you know, you have to update the battle.net agent, and it's going to grab everything and install it. It's going to patch everything for you. And I don't want that to happen. So install BattleNet 20%, 29, 44. We're going to go in as depth as possible for this. We're going to be changing settings. We're going to be adjusting things. We're going to be doing fixes if needed. This video is going to cover everything you need. And that's it. You're going to want to close out of it and hit close on that. Don't worry, everything's fine. Do not attempt to log into battle.net. Once battle.net is finished installing, the login will appear. Simply close it and you'll log in next when you start the app. Now, whether this actually works or not, it did. All right, so there you go. We have that done. Now we're going to go do the EA app. This is where you'll play your Battlefield 4s and other things, which you're able to do. Now, I don't want this to turn into a ridiculously long video, so I will use the pause button on OBS when needed. Most people don't know it exists, but it makes it easy for editing. All right, so this is as simple as it can get. Look, the EA app has had some trouble in the last 2 weeks where it's been removing and unlisting games. That is supposedly fixed. I'm not sure what they went through. I think it was like hormonal discharge or something, you know, because EA and their little baby app is having trouble. It's trying to become a teenager and it's just fallen on its head. It probably had too many Tide Pods. But they have released a statement on Twitter where they say they have fixed the issue and games are being relisted. But people are also being banned, which makes no sense. So I am not logging into this app until all of that is fixed. I'm keeping an eye on the situation. Yes. So once again, it's installing game data. It's updating register fonts. This is Winetricks that it's using to do this. Winetricks is a very neat application. So as you can see, the installer pops up, super easy. And once it's finished, we should be able to just be good to go. We're not going to log into it right now, as I said, because I'm waiting for the situation to fix itself. Yeah, but we will be dealing with this later in my own time. But if you guys want, I will record the aftermath to that because that should be pretty interesting. So now that we have the launchers installed that Lutris is good at, in other words, you know, not GOG or Epic or anything else, what we can easily do is choose one, log in, and set it up. But right now, we already have Protonup-qt installed. And the reason I mentioned the application is because you're going to want to change your Wine version to the GE Proton latest. Okay. And this is to ensure maximum compatibility. We're also going to turn this on. As you can see, location API is D. Leave that as is. If you want to look at your FPS, you can enable Mango HUD. All right. It's got a whole bunch of stuff enabled right here for maximum compatibility. Do not touch any of this. You don't need to. Once we hit save, we can hit play and it will start up like a normal game launcher. What it might do in the background actually is this in the logs. It's going to be game auto mode, preload it, cannot shared object, all of this. But in the end, it's going to show up. And as long as it shows this down here, you know that you can log in. Me, I need to go find my login. I don't want to log in, but I got to find my login. All right, so now that we're logged in, don't worry, I didn't have to fix anything. It just works. You can choose whatever game you want. We're going to skip all this crap. Skip, skip, skip. It's not letting me skip. Skip. Sometimes when you full screen applications, they stop working. That's why they fight against you. So when you do this, you can't click anything. Mainly because GNOME is fighting with the application. It wants to theme it on top, but it has its own theme. So that in itself is a problem. But there's Diablo 4, and you just hit install and you're good to go. So, I mean, that's pretty simple. Do I even... No, I don't own Diablo 3. I own StarCraft somehow. I own Overwatch 2. I own this. No. Somehow this is here. I don't have it though, but you know, this is definitely not a game I would ever play. It's too slow. It's one of the slowest MMOs I've ever played in my life. All right, so click OK. You can exit application. It will again say it failed to close properly. It happens. And I'm going to hit stop. And there you go. Once again, with Ubisoft, you just log in. I'm going to do that right now, but I'm not going to pause until we have the application open and ready to go. I do think I messed up though. 1 second. Stop. Configure. Runner. You'll always want to change it to the GE Proton. And the reason being is because this is the most compatible with games. It has fixes for things that other Proton versions do not. So you'll have a higher compatibility and a higher chance that everything will work for you. And it's opening. You can see an application open right there. And I'm going to log in real quick, and then that's it. We should be ready to go and play any game that we want. I'll even show you my wicked download speed. Okay, so we just logged in. And lo and behold, everything works. You can see the white outline. That's pretty much just GNOME trying to theme it for itself. Play Defiant for free now. Yeah, I don't want to do that. If we go here, we can hit download. And it will pop up with what you want to do. We can install the extra pack and create shortcuts. Hit accept for the EULA. And then, well, wait, I'm on Arch Linux at the moment. I'm not on Fedora, so I don't even know if this is going to reach 200 megabytes a second. But if it does, I'll be happy because I do have this thing optimized to hell and back. Oh, it does. Oh, wow. Look at that. 28, 32, 39. What the f... Okay. They upped my speed again. Ah, I love you, Bella Lion. Some days you make my life easy. Other days, well, you're just complicated for your own good. So that's going to install in the background. We'll be done in 4 minutes. I'm actually going to pause this because we do have other stuff to follow. Now, logging into Steam is as simple as logging into Steam. Basically normal, just like on Windows, because it's a native application. And once again, we head into settings, we head into compatibility, and we can select Proton, you know, GE 9.5 or the UMA launcher. If you have the UMA launcher, that's good too. It works just as well. It was made by GE as well. There's other settings here. You don't really need to touch anything. Go to downloads, set your location region. I'm not in New York, but that's the fastest internet close to me. Make sure you turn enable shaders pre-caching off. It does not need to be on, despite what everybody likes to say. They haven't caught up with the news yet. There were changes in graphic drivers that implemented something in Vulkan that allows shaders to literally super compile on the fly. Consider them like Uber shaders from Dolphin. You also want to turn this off. Seriously, bits per second? No, I'm not a third world country. I'm not doing that. You're on NVIDIA. Make sure that this is off, okay? Or else you could have issues if you're not on the 555 drivers. If you are on 555 and you're having performance issues, I have a video that covers that, how to fix that on Arch Linux and Fedora, so check that out. And yeah, let's just quickly go over the Heroic Game Launcher, okay? Because it's a part of the big three. So with this, what you do is you go to Manage Accounts and you make sure that you log into everything. Once you're logged in, you can head to Library, and your library is going to be full of all your Epic games, your GOG games, and more. I have Cyberpunk installed and Days Gone, and I've manually added Guild Wars 2. That's why you can see the little icon, because if you add game, you can add any game that you want that is pre-installed. But the problem is they don't always work with Heroic yet. I've had issues where Horizon Forbidden West does not work the way that I want it to. So instead, what I did is I came into here, as you can see, and I've added Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Amazing freaking game, by the way. Absolutely in love with it. Gets my freaking blood boiling. I've added Horizon Forbidden West and Ghost of blah, blah, blah. So I do have a game that we can add here. Star Ocean, the second story, R. Make sure you add the R so it doesn't get confused. We're going to use Wine as a runner, and I believe the release date was 2023. I'm not really sure. I'll put 2024 just to have it make sense. I'm going to head into my drive here, and we're going to add it in. Fortunately, it is a Unity game. We're once again going to select Proton GE and Mango HUD if you want to watch your FPS. The game is always running the best that it can, so I don't really need to. And there you go, it's done. That is how you add a game manually in Lutris. How cool is that, huh? Now, to add a game in here, you hit Add Game. You add its title, so Star Ocean, the second story, R, which honestly, this game could come to mobile. If it wanted to, it could definitely, without a doubt, come to mobile. But they don't want it to, I don't think. As you can see, it will choose the correct cover once you have the correct EXE done. Your wine settings, again, Proton Experimental, or GE Proton 9.5, my bad. As you can see, we've selected Windows. You can select Browser, that's cool. And we hit Finish. And once we hit Finish, it's going to confirm everything, make sure everything's good. And there you go. We have Star Ocean, the second story R right there. That makes me extremely happy that launchers and things like this exist. The fact that we can run all of our Steam games just from the native Linux application is incredible. The fact that we have Lutris is incredible on its own. Can I put you here? And the fact that we have something like the Heroic Game Launcher is amazing. It allows for all of these things to be possible and makes everything just so easy. I hope you guys found this video enlightening in some way. I hope it helped you learn something. If it did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for, new content for Linux, guides, things like that. And leave a comment below on your experiences so far if you're new to Linux. If you're one of those over experienced guys, comment as well. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.